All right, the latest reports, fears about the coronavirus continue to dominate global media today. It's not a surprise. And the White House Coronavirus Task Force added HIV expert Debbie Birx, who will report directly to the vice president. Now, 600 people are voluntarily isolating themselves in Massachusetts after they traveled to China. Smart move. Australia, with only 23 people infected, 15 already released from the hospital, announced an emergency outbreak plan. It includes designating stadiums for mass quarantines. By the way, most people here think that is ridiculous, not necessary. Forcing entire at-risk towns and cities to get vaccinated if one should be developed. Of course, stores online, retailers are running low on N95 respirator masks, even surgical gloves. 47 countries have reported deaths. The death toll is over 2,800. Italy remains the hardest hit in Europe, with 650 people infected. In Italy, 17 deaths. Saudi Arabia has closed its 2 holiest shrines to all foreigners. And the U.S. stock market, we know what happened today, took another nosedive. It was the largest single-day drop in history for the Dow.
Coronavirus fears sending stocks tumbling today. The Dow losing almost 1,200 points.
The Dow and S&P now on track for the worst week since the 2008 financial crisis.
That's not something to be taken lightly, and that's going to be something that a lot of traders watch for.
All right, the president's newly appointed coronavirus task force chief, Vice President Mike Pence, sought to reassure the country that the administration was being proactive and as vigilant as possible.
We will continue to bring the full resources of the federal government to bear to protect the American people. We're all in this together. This is not the time for partisanship. This president will always put the health and safety of America first.
But even before he spoke, the usual suspects continued to launch their wildly unfair and deceitful smear campaign against the president and his team of professionals on his emergency response team. Now, here are their 5 biggest lies. Lie number 1, VP Pence isn't qualified to manage coronavirus task force.
I expressed to him the concern that I had of his being in this position when he was governor of Indiana, slashing the public health budget and having some clinics, one especially at Planned Parenthood.
He struggled to cope with a public health crisis on HIV by delaying needle exchanges.
Not a person who's demonstrated deep understanding of government policy related to health or the science.
It's like giving children crayons to write in a coloring book.
Oh, Bill Weld, he has so much credibility on these types of issues. Now, these attacks are so pathetic, they're almost not worth dignifying with a response. They really just hate the fact that Mike Pence is pro-life, that he doesn't believe in enabling drug users, basically that he's not a liberal, because all those liberal governors are doing such a great job with their state's crises. Line number 2, the response hampered by Trump budget cuts.
He tried to cut back on the CDC.
He's defunded Centers for Disease Control, CDC, so we don't have the organization we need.
We increased the budget of the CDC. Arrived president today, and he's wiped all that out.
Wrong. So wrong, in fact, that even the Associated Press had to call it out, reporting the National Institutes of Health and the CDC aren't suffering from budget cuts. Financing has increased. And here's a little con law lesson for my liberal friends. Congress, not the executive branch, has the power of the purse. They can always appropriate more money, go to the president and say, we need more money, and work out the budget between the 2 branches. That's how it usually works. Line number 3, President Trump is anti-science.
This administration has a war on science, often for political reasons, that has really gutted expertise.
I believe in not silencing health professionals.
They have not taken the advice or the expert advice of scientists in their own administration.
We all know that President Trump, in the course of his service, has disrespected science and scientists.
Okay, now we're going back to climate change. All right. I love these attacks about how Trump is anti-science from people who won't acknowledge when life begins and who think there are like 24 genders. It's all fungible. Spare us the lectures. Of course, Trump made it abundantly clear yesterday he has trust in his professionals inside his working group. Does anyone think that if he doesn't think changes should be made along the way, he's not going to make them? You bet he'll make them. Line number 4, Trump only cares about COVID-19 because he cares about the stock market.
reports today is that the president has also been more concerned about the supposed impact on the stock market.
I think what has jolted him into action is what happened with the stock market.
And the most dangerous thing is trying to happy talk a national health emergency because you're worried about the stock market.
I'd like to direct their attention to Exhibit A, the White House announcing the creation of the virus task force in January. And bipartisan briefings have been happening for weeks and weeks with officials from the HHS and the CDC. Personally, I don't think that the public wants a potential health crisis politicized. Do you? Now, perhaps after this week's reprehensible finger-pointing, cooler heads may prevail.
Look, the president said to me, look, I want you to reach out to the Republican and Democrat leadership because we want to push politics aside. We want to make sure we get the resources that we need to respond to this, to make sure the CDC, all of our agencies have the support that they need.
Our political leaders need to ensure that we're both prepared and calm in dealing with whatever comes next. The president's task force is taking this threat seriously. They understand the need for full transparency. So calm down. We have not had, thank goodness, a death yet because of this in the United States. We're going from 59 cases yesterday, we wish there were none, obviously, to 60 today. This is not exploding, at least not yet. That is a good thing. Further travel bans may be necessary. Maybe some public events will be, canceled. Even schools may be closed in the near future for some period of time. Maybe, maybe not. We don't know yet. But we're America. We'll deal with it, and we'll deal with it smartly. Instead of giving into panic and partisanship, perhaps we should thank the good Lord that we live in the most well-equipped country in the world to weather these challenges and overcome them. And that's the angle.